Welcome everybody to episode 5, awesome to have you back. This is the Wellington Wildcats special. It's actually our 6th show, so a little milestone there. We're real happy to be here, and big thanks to you fans once again for making this happen. Now we had an absolutely awesome time over in Wellington. Massive shout out to Belinda Robertson for setting all of this up, and it was such an amazing experience to sit in front of all those legends and their families and have a big party in Hayburn's workshop.
Yeah, our first stop was actually at Dale Robertson's place. We interviewed him talking
about his awesome cars.
He's got
the super stock set up there as well, and it's going to be a big season, huh?
Yep, new race car on the way for this coming season. Whether it makes opening night or not, who knows, but it's built with teams racing in mind, which is awesome. The next stop we had was Paul Faheybrother's
52W main car, that one.
Yeah, another Hayburn built teammate. And also another big thank you goes out to Brian Little, Stock Cam Photography, who is the official Wildcats photographer. He pretty much showed us everywhere to go, gave us the ins and outs of the Wildcats and what's been happening, so big things happening in the next season.
Sit back, relax, drink up, enjoy the show.
Hi Dale, thanks for talking to Smack Talk. First of all, how did you get started with Speedway?
A bit of a family progression, I guess. My father did a little bit of racing and then was probably more involved in the promoting the Speedway in Wellington here for a while and stuff like that, so yeah, just was always going to end up here.
Now you're part of a unique Speedway family here in Wellington. You've got 2 brother-in-laws that are racing, a father-in-law that's been a great as well. Do you feel any added pressure along with those?
No, I don't think there's any added pressure. Like you say, pretty lucky to get involved there and have all the family involved, and certainly our first few years in stock car racing was pretty special.
So you've established yourself pretty well in the stock car ranks, along with GP titles, North Island, New Zealand titles, a couple of placings there. Do you feel any pressure now that you're in the super stocks?
Not really. No, we sort of still enjoy our racing. A lot of it's about fun, so I don't really put a lot of pressure on myself. And saying that, you sort of come from one class where stock cars were, like you say, we're obviously able to compete right at the top level, and then to step into super stocks and sort of be there or thereabouts, but not quite where we were. It can be a little bit frustrating at times, so yeah.
You're finding many of the same attributes you can carry on?
Pretty much, I think, yeah, the basis is there, but it is a bit different. Things do happen a bit quicker, and I find a lot more car setup and that comes into it, whereas, the stock car we sort of were pretty blasé and would go out the gate with however it was. Super stock, you can't quite get away with that. Things are a bit more accurate.
Now, if we skip over to teams racing, you've obviously established yourself with the Young Guns. I mean, you had a few good years there. What about the resurgence with the Wildcats? Whose idea was that to start that up?
I guess the likes of Nathan Hayburn and Tony Mack were quite a driving force behind getting that back underway. So yeah, definitely a lot goes towards those guys. The club as a whole had missed the Wildcats. Our supporters were always huge back through the years gone, and it's great to go to the event now and see a lot of those same supporters from 5, 6, 7 years ago back there with their signs and their banners and that. So yeah, it's a huge part of it.
So next season, you've also got a stock car on the way, another race car. Do you feel like you have to teams race for the Young Guns again, since you've been there, done that, or?
Oh, I don't think it's a feeling I'll have to. Definitely want to. That's pretty much the main cause behind getting a stock car is to be able to teams race it. The wife was the one that was keen on the stock car. It's pretty much she pushed me into that. So, hey, I definitely love the stock car racing, and I'm looking forward to getting back into it. And obviously, Wellington's numbers dropped a few over the last couple of seasons, so get a few more there should be good.
So, in the next couple of years, you've got New Zealand champs for super stocks in Wellington. Do you feel like a few of the stock car boys are going to step up, go super stocks?
Hard to say. Definitely like to think so. Obviously, the more cars you can have at a local championship, the better. It is a big step to go from the stock cars to the super stocks financially and stuff. So, I think there's a couple of possibilities there, and who knows who else it'll bring out of the woodwork.
So last time Wellington had the New Zealands, they managed to get 1, 2 and 3 NZ, all locally registered cars. Do you think that's possible again?
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Do you think you'll be one of them?
Oh, I'd love to be one of them, but that was obviously back in '96, I think it was. That was a pretty special event, and that was probably the peak of Wellington's dominance on the national stage in that class. And had some pretty clever drivers around that time, and really Wellington worked together as a team, you know, and it didn't matter at the end of the day which Wellington cars it was, as long as we got to the top, and securing all three was, very special.
So speaking of highs, what's your lowest moment probably in Speedway in your racing career?
Lowest moment? To be honest, don't have too many. We take it as it comes, and we don't sort of get too upset with how things go. Maybe actually at the start of the season we really came out unprepared with this car. Well, not so much unprepared. The car wasn't really finished when we hit the track, and so sort of work had taken its toll, and we came out with a car that wasn't really ready to race. So lost a fair bit of time at the start of the season when we probably should have just been spending the time in the shed.
Now, talking about the New Zealanders, rewind to 2009, you were your brother-in-law Richard, got 1 and 2 NZ. Was that pretty special?
Oh, definitely. To do that at your home track in Wellington, that was an awesome feeling, that one. And again, that was a Wellington effort. The club banded together, and other guys that were in the final certainly helped us along the way.
What would have happened if there was a run-off between you two?
Oh, we've got bumpers for a reason, so I don't think there would have been any reason either of us wouldn't have been taking a shot to get the title.
So what would be your favourite track to race on, Dale?
Always enjoy going to Rotorua. Circuit there is a little bit challenging, that, and Wanganui obviously having a tight turn in it, so quite enjoy those sort of tracks.
You got a bit of success on both?
Pretty much, we sort of Wanganui I've probably some of the major titles I've ended up on my lid there as many times as I've done well, so that might be saying something.
As well as runoffs.
Yeah.
What about your bogey tracks?
Not really. I think we sort of enjoy going to them all.
Who would be your most respected rival outside of Wellington?
I pretty much enjoy racing with most guys. Going back to the days when we sort of first got into the stock car racing, racing with the Rotorua guys, the Clive Pritchards and Steve Axtons and those sort of guys was always pretty enjoyable. And then we had a few good little battles along the way. So currently, I mean, guys like Peter Ease that are at the top of their game, you know, you always sort of know when you come up against him, you've got to be doing something right to do it. But again, that top level, especially in the super stocks, so you can throw a blanket over 10 or 15 guys, so to be able to compete with any of those is pretty cool.
What about your favourite meeting?
Do enjoy the teams racing, it's hard to beat that for an adrenaline level. Obviously when we won the New Zealand stock cars at Bay Park was a bit of a highlight, and obviously the success that we've had with the Young Guns over the years, hopefully the success with the Wildcats is yet to come, but a bit of a rebuilding stage there at the moment.
Are there any meetings that you try and avoid that you feel like you don't have much success in?
No, not really. I think if there was a meeting that I thought that, we'd probably target that more and sort of try and do pretty well. Going to Palmerston to race probably more on a stock car than a super stock. That's always a bit of a battle to take some Wellington cars up there, and we've done that wrong a few times in recent years, sort of take up a bunch of us and think we're going to go and serve them up, and it backfires, so you've got to be careful doing that sort of thing.
Now lastly but not leastly, what are some teams racing advice for some young up-and-coming drivers?
I don't know, I think so much teams racing is being aware of what's happening around you. You can go out the gate with a set plan, and by the first corner it's gone out the window, so I think definitely being able to read the race and understand what's happening and whether you need to be racing or blocking and who you have to get is, once you can comprehend that, it's certainly a big feat.
No, well, thanks for taking your time out and talking to us. I mean, you're a legend in the sport, you're an accomplished teams racer and individually, so it's always been a pleasure.
No, I appreciate it, and I think what you guys are doing is awesome, so I look forward to seeing plenty more of it.
Cheers, Dale.
Cool.
Here with Paul Fairbrother, driver of the 52W Hayburn built T-Mac chassis. Thanks for coming and talking to us today, Paul.
Thanks for coming down. It's a good day, good event.
That's the one. Why don't you tell us a little bit about growing up at Speedway?
Yeah, so as with most Kiwi blokes, I guess, around the Speedway drivers now, got hauled around the country following the Wildcats and supporting Wellington, so it's been in the blood for a while. Dad never raced, but definitely family holidays were based around Speedway events, New Zealand champs and Palmy especially, Palmy teams. So.
What were some of the drivers that you used to look up to as a kid?
If they had a W on it, we'll cheer them on. So Tony and Graham, Darren Gray was Wayne Hemi in his early days. Wayne Richards and Eddie Hawkins are all most of the Wildcats.
All the boys,
all the Wildcats. Yeah, if it had a W on it, we'd cheer it on. So But Tony was the fave. Yeah, Tony's a guy I've looked up to for a long time. So
Without a doubt.
yeah.
Now, you transitioned into Speedway. You started in the stock car class. Why don't you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I building apprentice. Didn't have much money, so jumped into an old Palmy car. I was sort of 20 odd years old. Bought it off Daniel Lockwood. He just sort of run really well for the Steelers, so thought it was a good buy. Got that and sort of run it as is for a season. Spent a bit of time on it the following year and learnt a lot. Colin Chip, who helped build one of these, build Musgrove's car, he sort of took me under his wing for a couple of years and taught me the ins and outs of setup and lightning cars and just how to understand them. And then bumped into Nathan Hayburn, and he sort of gave me the opportunity to build one of these next door to him building, or all the boys building Clive. So it was sort of a bit of a off season from laughing like crazy, sort of with all the old boys. So yeah, it's sort of been a gentle progression into one of these. But yeah, the old car was good learning, and started sort of with a bit of a humdinger, and we built her up. So it was good.
So racing in the stock car class in Wellington's been some pretty good numbers over the years. Did that sort of set the tone for the direction you were heading in?
Yeah. So I think we've been blessed with having a big field of good quality cars, with the likes of Dale and the Gaskin boys. They've always kept the bar really high. So I think it gave us all something to aim for. So it's when you race 30-35 cars week in, week out, you go to national events and you put in good stead, sort of can handle those big fields, and I think it's paying off at the moment with Palmy and obviously Wellington over the last few years getting numbers, so, and being successful in the national scene. So just got a challenge on our hands to build up the supers to get to that level. So
That's the one.
yeah, that's the goal.
With the stocky, what was one of your more memorable moments?
Leading my group going into the last heat, the New Zealand champs down here, and getting picked up and rolled by Ron Ty. So that was a bit of a disappointment, I guess, being at home and in front of the family and friends. But that's what it's all about.
Well,
so.
Ron being a former Wellington,
Yeah.
you wouldn't expect that,
Yeah,
would you?
that's
Or
right.
do you expect that?
You expect that. That's stock car racing, so it's all part of it. So managed to sort of pick him up at the Auckland teams, even though it was a bit of a mismatch, but paid him back with a little bit of interest. So
That was a good shot there.
Was, yeah. So enjoyable. So, but that's stock car racing.
Big
so,
smile on your face after that one?
Was, yeah.
Too
So
much.
no, it was really good. So and all the teams racing I've done has been definitely a highlight for me.
Now, you finished with this, well, you built this one here to be a stock car. Well, it was a stock car, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So we started off always with the intention of going super stock racing at some point in life, I guess. The perfect chassis for it. Thought about building another one of these chassis and going super stock racing at some point. Sort of tripped into it. I was planning to sort of take a couple of years off. Then sold the motor, sold the Holden, and it sort of sat with nothing in it for a season. And then we got it up and running with the Nissan season before last, so halfway through it. So sort of did about 8 meetings when we got the Wildcats back up and running, and got to Huntly for the New Zealand, and did a last season was our first full season.
So Huntly was your first meeting in a super stock. How about you tell us about that?
Yeah, the couple of weeks from hell, really. So the boys really pitched in. It was a crazy couple of weeks. There was about 4 all-nighters to get the car ready for Huntly. There was still a lot to do 2 weeks out, and we didn't have an engine sort of 4 days out, 5 days out. So shot a couple of mad dashes up to Brian Hartley, and he was a star really. He got it sorted and got us there. So yeah, we were pretty lucky. We had a rain out that night. We had a tyre come off the trailer on the way to Taupo, and I was sleeping the whole way because I'd done so many all-nighters, and the crew really mucked in. It was just a great effort. Alan Levine's car was being built at the same time, so there was probably about 20-25 people up at Nathan's workshop for a good couple of weeks, sort of just putting in the hours. So it was a really big effort, with the obviously the ultimate goal of getting the Wildcats back the following week, which is what the real goal was. If we'd had a super stock meeting anywhere else in the country, and in the lower North Island, we would have been there that weekend before, sort of just getting some laps in. So that was a great event.
Big introduction into super stocks.
It was, yeah. So I guess I don't think we disgraced ourselves up there. We sort of kept it going in the right direction. A couple of little leap-de-loos, but to be expected. It's obviously from 230 horsepower up to 500. It's a bit of a step. So it's good fun. Really enjoyed it though. It's good bunch of guys in the super stocks, and they sort of welcomed us, and they were generally aware of what we're up to. So.
That's the one. Now the Wellington Wildcats. It's an amazing story. It's an accomplishment that all you boys have got together and got the Wildcat name back out there. Such a big part of our sport. What does it mean to you?
To me, yeah. So I guess I'm spending a big portion of my childhood following them. As I said, sort of family holidays based around it. It's really special. All the old boys are still involved. You know, Tony and Graham aren't very far away. They're always keen to pass on advice. So to be a part of the rebirth was huge. For me, it's something really special, and I think we've got a good bunch of drivers, support crew moving forward. So I think the next couple of years we'll keep building. Obviously, we've got realistic ambitions and goals. So it's special. Yeah, it's a good team and it's a good legacy. You know, they dominated the teams racing world for a long time. Not so much at Palmy, but around the rest of the country they did well. So I think we've definitely got goals of repeating that at some point. So
yeah, this is right. So I mean, you certainly got a lot of fans around the country as well, not just in Wellington, but you know, a lot of people around the country certainly grew up knowing those Wildcat names, household names in Speedway, so to speak. So to be a part of such a culture must be such a great feeling, and we certainly hope that the Wildcats get back up there or thereabouts, and a few teams races coming up in 2013.
Yeah. It's just about competing, isn't it? It's I think so many teams are on a level playing field nowadays. You know, everyone's got good machinery, everyone's got big names and good drivers. I think it's who comes together on the day. Yeah, anybody can beat anybody on the day, and that's that's definitely what we like to think. And it's just who puts it out there and who performs. So yeah, it's next year's looking good. We've got a couple of meetings again with Nelson, home and away series. We're trying to arrange another race before Palmy, so we can go into Palmy with a bit of racing experience under the belt.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Now, Paul, just got a couple of quick fires for you. As far as your favourite track to race on, what would that be?
Palmy, enjoy Palmy. Wellington's definitely you like being at home, but Palmy I've had some memorable experiences there, so it's been good.
And as far as respected rivals from either class from out of town, what do you reckon?
Anyone who straps in is respected. You know, at the end of the day, it's a contact sport, and anyone can put you over. You look up to the legends and the guys that do go out there to wreck you. Peter Barry, I had a couple of good run-ins with him, so respect there. But yeah, no, anyone who straps in. Yeah.
That's good to hear, Paul. Certainly appreciate you taking the time and showing us the awesome shed that you've got here.
Definitely.
And I certainly wish the Wildcats and yourself all the best for the 2013-14 season. And you guys have done the region proud, and we're certainly stoked that you got the New Zealand champs in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, big event for us, and keep up what you guys are doing. It's good for the sport.
Awesome. Good
Cheers,
on you, Paul.
lads. Awesome.
Coming up now, guys, is an epic teams race from 1990. The Wellington Wildcats had just annihilated the Stratford Scrappers in the semi-final and went on to the final against the Palmerston North Panthers. Now, a bit of controversy surrounding this race, and Graham Gaskin was the winner on the night, taking the flag and under points. Bit of controversy, but the Panthers ended up winning that 75-70, handing them the 1990 teams championship. But as you're about to see, the race on the night was a completely different story.
Following the 1990 teams final, which the Wellington Wildcats should have won, KJ sat down with some of the greats from the Wildcats that have represented Wellington. There's Ian King, Eddie Hawkins, Tony Mack, Wayne Richards, Graham Gaskin, and also Kiwi Keith Webling. So sit back and enjoy some of the fascinating things that these guys have to say.
I was totally freaking out sitting in front of them. It was one of the toughest things I've had to do, interview all of those guys at one time and just to be in their presence. So yeah, it was some freaky stuff, but greatest time ever.
Once they get the green flag, they let them go. Here we go. back the winner?
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave Evans is certainly upset about something. He came out through the, and we understand there is a protest on the third placing in the Manawatu Saloon Car Championship. So it all happens here at the 2XS International Speedway. Make no mistake about that. The Wellington Wildcats, is it them or is it the Palmerston Northampton? The Wildcats believe they won. The Wildcats believe they won. They're going to go on a victory lap. We'll wait for the official proclamation. The Wellington Wildcats pushing the...
Take the 84 going on the fence and whack that post off and come down again, right? Just get the foot flat, throw it along the fence, whack the post off and straight on.
Diabolical sort of a race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a very exciting race. It's going to be diabolical find out who wins too.
Yes, I'll tell you what, you know, that car there of Blair Island may not be the fastest car. They do a great blocking shot. Just seems to be there at the right time.
Well, it's an absolute honour to be here with the Wellington Wildcats, members over the years. Big history that you guys have here in Wellington, and Graham, I guess we can start off with you. And you were racing alongside some big names back in the 1970s. What was Team Royal Speedway like back then?
Oh, it was pretty, I guess by today's standards, pretty primitive, I suppose. The facility, the wooden fence wall, not a concrete wall like we know today. It was wooden logs, and that was a bit of an education in itself. Well, even I was actually racing before that, actually, when they had the windrow thing, and then there was wire ropes on behind that. And, if you got put into that over that windrow, you actually stayed in there for the rest of the race type of thing. So that was a bit of an education.
And come up alongside some of those jesters as well. Was that originally the Wellington team back then?
Well, there it was the jesters. They were a force, and the likes of Will Childs and Robbie Douglas, and there's a whole heap of them. And there was certainly a battle against those. There was a lot of little groups or clubs within the team or within Wellington Speedways, and that was quite a challenge. It was good of them against us sort of thing, and it's quite a laugh really to thinking about it now.
Yep. Tony, you come along in late 70s as well?
Yeah, about 1975 I started racing. I bought my first car with Clark Proctor. It's a Joel Wright car with a Ford in it. And yeah, it's good times.
So the transition into the 80s, and you come along, and so did you, Eddie. What was the teams racing like, joining the likes of Graham and the boys back then?
Oh, it was actually quite good, because we got on outside of racing quite well. We had barbecues together, and we were always going to fix one another's cars. So we made ourselves a bit of a family, and we really enjoyed our racing. We had some good old laughs, didn't we, Eddie?
Yeah. We were a little bit the easy beats in those days, though. I mean, the team that we developed over the years, I think the comradeship of the guys brought the team together and made it what it was. We definitely didn't have the stars that a lot of other tracks did, apart from you, Graham. You know, as a family unit, everybody's family and everybody's crew got on, and it was just like a big family, it really was.
And it's just like any team, you can have the best machinery in the world, but it all comes back to building that teamwork together. The young Wildcats today that have come back, they're going through the same thing at the moment. Now, Darren, you would have been the young blood that came into it back in the late 80s there as well.
In the late 80s, I started racing.
Yeah. How did they talk you into becoming a Wildcat?
They told me to fix his car, got destroyed!
And it did.
Picked up the car off Sam Woodford, was there first?
That car, that's a really good car. Started putting some races in there.
That's the one. And so you guys really struck some success, in the late 80s as well. Your second teams nationals that come about. What do you guys remember from the 1989 teams nationals when you picked up the title?
Oh, it was just a great event for the Wellington, not only for the Wellington team, but for the Wellington supporters, etc.
And did that instill a bit of belief within the team as well that you can take the titles?
I think the belief was there. But maybe not the referees, but the belief was definitely there.
Yeah, it all comes down to the learning as you go along over the years as well, and what each other's capable of once you get out on the track, and of course luck as well on the night. Now, and you're moving along as well, and the Wildcats are starting to gain a lot of momentum, due to the team camaraderie that you had. 1992 was quite a big season. Graham, yourself, you ended up becoming 2NZ in Palmerston North after a pretty torrid third heat.
Yes, it was. You wouldn't get away with what they let me get away with at that meeting then. They would have taken me out of the race these days when you're stationary like that on the wall. And
bits of bodywork hanging everywhere?
Yeah, bits of bodywork hanging everywhere, and I managed to continue on and finish the race and ended up with the podium, so that was a real highlight of my career, I guess. You always remember those kind of things.
Yeah, definitely, and that was a pretty brutal third heat, that one. Coming along to the teams champs that same year, Wellington probably went in with some pretty big expectations. You had a good team. You laid it all on the line against those Stratford Scrappers in the semi-final. Ian and Eddie went pretty crazy on those suicide hits. You know, what kind of what does it take to do one of those? Are you crazy, or you just got big balls, or what?
Tend not to think about it.
No brain?
Yeah, tend not to think about it at all.
It's just, you forget about everything other than what you need to do on the track. And that was it.
Yeah.
You did whatever you had to
And
do.
you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the rest of the team.
Sure.
You know if you take another car out, it's going to make it so much easier for them. That's the big thing.
Those Stratford Scrappers a lot of them were in the prime of their career as well at that time, so to beat them was no small fingers for sure. Unfortunately, it all came unstuck in that final. Ron Ty parked himself everywhere all over the track. Graham, you know all about that, what happened there?
Just again, the heat of the moment, you're going too hard and I was chasing another, one of the other competitors, chasing him, and I saw the accident happen up ahead of me, and kind of figured the two cars would wash off the turn, and I'd whip round on the inside, but unfortunately that didn't happen. I smacked the rear of the car on the side rail, and ended up having to put my thumb down. The only time in my career I think I put my thumbs down, and my right foot didn't work properly, and ended up having a broken femur. So that was me out.
Yeah, certainly unfortunate events, and Darren thought it was a good idea to follow suit and found wrong as well, didn't he?
Yeah. And it just left me.
Now, I guess that opened the door for you, Tony, to come back through for the team's nationals. Pretty big weekend for you boys then as well. What can you remember about that weekend? Pretty big final against the Auckland All-Stars.
Yeah, I mean, teams racing is just such a wild and untamed animal. You know, anything can happen, and you've only got to break down. The car's got to break down, flat tyres, whatever. So a lot of luck's involved in it. You can plan as much as you want, but at the end of the day, some days it goes your way, and some days it doesn't. It's just the way it is.
Yep. That 92 final ended up pretty epic. Ian King doing the big block job on Irvine about 10 metres before the line, and Darren snuck through to take the win. Pretty big moment.
Yeah, it was just being able to sort of read the race a little bit. Darren was up there, but it was lucky that Irvine came round, and I mean, if he'd gone right round the outside of me at pace, he may have been able to carry on. But he opted to hit me up the backside and try and push me around.
Sure, there's probably
it was enough for Darren to squeeze through.
Yeah, no, that's great, and it's probably something for a lot of young drivers out there to sort of look at and take a lot from, to never give up until their checkered flag's out. Talk about some of your times in the likes of Rotorua and Tauranga. You have some good times over there?
Fantastic times. They were always our holidays. They involved Speedway, but they were holidays. They were great.
Yeah, a lot of, the Old Bay Park was an amazing track. What do you guys remember about that track?
Very sticky track.
They're slippery when wet.
Get a car sideways and it will roll. That's all you needed to do.
Well, we had great times at Tauranga, didn't we, Graham?
Yes.
Stayed at the motor camp, we'd be out there for a week or two, and it was just, they were fantastic days for us. And they used to actually close the gates because the facility would totally sell out, and there used to be people trying to climb the fences to get into the place, and they were heydays really. You know, that old Tauranga track was really kind to the Wellington team. We all performed there, and so, for some reason or other, our cars just went really, really well. When the boys went out and won against Rotorua in the final with 3 cars, Kim Lacey's car failed to fire, so the boys went out and won against Rotorua with 3 cars, you know, so it just really went good up there.
Yeah, probably the worst decision the Tauranga City Council ever made was bulldozing a track, wasn't it? Now, what was it like, Kiwi, to round up these boys back in the day? Pretty ragtag bunch back then, or what?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was, we had a lot of good times, a lot of fun. As Tony and saying, it's a real team and family effort. Everyone got on with each other, and it was a real honour to be involved with these guys because they're legends, you know, and it was bloody awesome, you know.
Yep.
We had our good times and we had our low times where we got beaten on the line basically, but you bounce back and come back next team's race and you just keep moving on and on. It was good.
That's the one. Now, Wayne, you started into the frame sort of mid-90s.
Yeah, you're right.
An awesome little flat chassis you had there. Now, I mean, stepping up into the frame with this team of legends, did you feel a bit of pressure?
Not really. These guys were pretty open and passed on a lot of their knowledge, so it was pretty easy to learn from them. They had a lot of wisdom that they passed my way, so no, it was good.
And just that car performed for you pretty well over the years.
Yeah, it did. I got that off Eddie, and it was a Tony design, so yeah, she was pretty bulletproof, that one.
Yeah, so you take those hits pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Climb up the back of those cars,
Yeah.
slow them up a bit.
Yeah.
Now, you came up against the Nelson Tigers in the final back in '97. You had Craig Boot, and his hot rod at the time was just a step above everyone else as far as pace was concerned. Yeah, Wayne, you did you and Ian did a good job of pulling that race back, and it was a bit of deja vu, so to speak, on the last lap of that race there.
Oh, it was excellent. I was actually came round into the front straight, and I just happened to look up, and the man at flag marshal just put out the white flag, and Boot had just gone through it, and I went, oh shit, there's nothing I could do if I'd gone through the flag. So as I looked down the track, there was 2 cars parked out by the wall. So I went and thought, I'll go up and park beside them because they won't be able to go around the outside of me. So you have to go on the inside of me, and I'll just wait for them. And sure enough, I looked across the track, and Boot, I think, got past Darren, I think it might have been on the back straight. And I saw him come round into the main straight there, and I waited, and he just turned left, and bang. He drove over the left front wheel, lurched himself down and sort of got stuck in the pole line a bit, so then I drove and parked in front of him. And he was stuck, and he just couldn't move from there. The wheels were spinning, he couldn't go back, couldn't go forward. So I thought, oh, I just got to stay here. And Wayne coming off the wall, he came in and parked beside me, so both of us were there, and we just looked up, and Darren went round and round and round. The flag marshal kept putting 4 fingers, 3 fingers, 2 fingers. We thought, it's got to finish soon. And finally, he come through and took the flag here. So, I was wrecked. I really was wrecked.
Awesome. Ian and Graham, you both sort of retired around 1997. What was the decisions behind that? Was it bodies weren't taking it anymore, just time to sort of call it quits around then?
Yeah, well, it was probably a little bit of health and probably money as well. You know. It was very hard back in those early days, you know, trying to race in those conditions. One wage coming in, family along the way. Every time I went out there and got knocked out, it took me longer to recover. So every time it was a little bit longer, eyesight started to deteriorate, and then I thought, well, it's time to give up, really.
Yeah, big decision for you, Graham, to let it go at the time?
Oh, well, it was basically the business and family commitments, basically, and yeah, it was just obviously the costs were escalating with the tyres and that they were using, and the whole everything about that sort of motorsport in those mid-90s, it really accelerated from the early 90s to the mid-90s, and the cars were getting dearer and dearer, and it was just came down to the fact that if it gets a bit hot in the kitchen, you've got to decide to get out, and yeah, it was just one of those things. And the cost today, compared with then was probably cheap. But yeah, it was just the way it was, a personal family commitment that we decided to sell the car.
Sure, understandable. Before that came to be as well, you Wellington boys all stuck it out in the 1996 New Zealand champs in Team Royal. How special was that for the club to go 1, 2, 3?
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Some pretty big names in that final that year as well, and you went off taking that one by one.
Well, we were determined. We'd never had a Wellington, a 1NZ in Wellington, and we took a bit of a leaf out of Palmerston's book, and we worked as a club, and we were determined to get a 1NZ for the Wellington club, and we succeeded with interest, which was just really good for Wellington. It was great, good result.
Darren, you'd come pretty close to the North Islands once, twice, but how did it feel for you to get that 3NZ on the side of the car?
Correct, yeah.
Yep.
Big jumps it up.
That's the one, and yourself as well, sort of almost swans on to your career.
It was, but I wouldn't have been able to do it with without the rest of the drivers, because I mean, we made a commitment before the meeting started that we were going to have someone on the podium. Who it was, that was going to be worked out during the night. It just, I mean, it's just unlucky Tony had problems. Graham had some engine problems along the way as well, it just worked out that I just happened to be in that place at that time. Without Tony doing what he did in that last heat, we wouldn't have been there. I mean, he was a machine.
No, it wasn't just me, it was everyone. It was a big effort by everybody.
Yeah.
It was great.
But individual success come for yourself, Tony, as well, in the form of 2NZ in 97. First of the World 240s, big achievement there. What was sort of your biggest individual achievement?
Well, probably 2NZ, but won the North Islands and won the GP in that same year. That was a really good year for me. And yeah, I guess I would have to say that I've probably put more effort into the teams racing than I ever did individual racing. I love the teams racing, and that was really my, creme de la creme of stock car racing, was doing the teams racing. I love it.
Yeah, that's the one. Now, 1998, huge season for the Wildcats. It was probably the one most people want to know about. Fast forwarding to the sort of semi-final, and Tony ended up on your lid, and Darren pretty soon after. Left with just Eddie and Wayne on the track there doing the job. Now, you first got Murray West nice and early, probably Palmy's front runner at that time. What sort of goes through your mind when you see the two top dogs? It was always T-Mac and Darren going for the lead and taking the flag, but what goes through your mind at that time?
By that stage, we sort of knew that Tony had a little bit of a problem with his motor, but didn't expect to turn around, and Darren was on his lid as well. But yeah, the first thing that normally come into my mind when we lost the car was always, I've got to even this up. And so that's what it was. It was a stoppage for Darren's car. West was just in front of me on the corner, and I knew his car well. He always took off, and it drifted off quite a bit off the pole line. My car only had 2 gears, and he had to get for an extra gear. So I picked him up on the corner, even though I was about 30 or 40 metres behind him, and give him a real good hit out wide and just drove him up the wall. They stopped the race, and so we were down one straight away. Fortunately, the guy that had rolled Darren had given himself a flat tyre as well. So it was pretty even at that stage. I just knew I had to stop the tank, and he was the next one on my list.
Yep.
Yeah, and Wayne did well.
Did bloody well, mate. It's having those drivers on your back bumper. You did a good job keeping them there. Your car would have been a little bit underpowered compared to a lot of them.
Yeah, a big horsepower motor, so yeah, it was always the back car of the team to sort of hold everyone up and
Backbone.
give everyone a bit of shelter when they went to the pass.
It started raining.
It was its job there.
And it really leveled it up. And the track was pretty slippery.
That's the one. Now, yeah, you guys brought that home. That was a phenomenal time. I did want to ask, Wayne, did you have a bit of go at Eddie for stealing your check flag that race?
No. Well, my car was blowing smoke from early on, so as soon as I crossed the line, I shut it down. So yeah, he was welcome to it.
Yeah. In the final, taking on the Rotorua Rebels, massive rivals to the Wellington Wildcats over the years. What was the game plan off the start line? Well, Kiwi, you might want to answer that one.
Trying to remember. It was a couple of years ago.
Darren got
Hunter at the start.
Yeah, at the start.
So was that a big part of it? I mean, Hunter
Oh,
had to break hot rod at that time. Was it a matter of just taking it out?
We had to get them early, that's for sure. Yeah. I mean, we had the 3 Rotorua cars skidding around the fence within half a lap. Wayne Henny got Stan Hickey, Darren got Hunter, and I got Westbury off the other end, so...
And I was leading.
Yeah. Only left Rodney Wood, really, but we had to get stuck in really early, and that was, do or die.
Yep.
We had to eliminate them.
Now, Eddie, a lot of people in New Zealand have been wanting me to ask you, when Pat Westbury was coming up behind you, what's your recollection on that?
Well, we were just talking about that over there, and one of our rules in our team's race was whenever you're racing and you've got a fly car coming up behind, tucked down on the pole line, for some reason I looked in my mirror and thought, what the hell am I doing winning a race? And I thought it was Tony behind me. So I drifted out a little bit wider with one because I was full, going pretty quick. And when I seen it was Pat Westbury, it was too late. So I turned the wheel hard down to get sideways, and as you see in the video, the car actually goes sideways before he hits me. But then he picked me up at the end of the straight, and I just remember looking straight up at the lights and thinking, oh, I'm over that fence. But it come down, going over a couple of times on the side rail, and I could feel it teetering, and I just went like that, and it actually rocked over, and believe it or not, but that's a true story. And it come down, and I thought, okay, is it going to start? And I flipped the key, and it went. And the guys come running over, and they just brought a new rule in. If any of the first 8 guys touch the car, that car's deemed to be out. And I'm going. And yeah, so they sort of shook their head and walked away and started the race, and I could see my springs and shocks lying on the ground, and so I wasn't sure if it would actually move, but it took off, and I dropped the clutch really quite slowly to get going because I knew that with no springs it might break the drive shaft. And Tony picked me up about halfway down the straight and gave me a little bit more speed, and then by that stage I could see I was catching Pat Westbury quite quickly, and I gave him a good hit. He went out wide and I got on the inside, and yeah, the rest is sort of all over, but it was just a bonus a couple of laps later when Stan Hickey came around to try and get him off the wall, and I pinned both of them in there, and at that stage it was all over for them.
I'd have to say a testament to Eddie's fortitude was I was coming down and saw all that unfold right in front of me, and I tell you what, that car landed on its wheels like that, and Eddie looked over at me and he went, I'm going to get him. Yeah, right. We had no wheel guard, flat tyres, it was a wreck, but anyway.
Yeah, it was huge, absolutely
Yeah, it was
unbelievable.
massive.
And, but I mean, that was huge for Wellington, and I mean, Graham and Ian, I mean, you guys had team's national success, but to see the boys get out there and do it at Palmy, what was that like for you, Graham?
Oh, it was a dream come true, really, something that we'd been working for so many years, and to finally get there, it was just amazing.
And it's just one of those things that, you know, it's not just 5 guys on the track, is it?
No, that's why the pit crew and everybody helping towards it, and like you say, what had come the years before, it certainly helped us to get that success. It was amazing.
The Wellington Wildcats, the Rotorua Rebels, to come out to do that for the Wellington Wildcats first. The classic hits stock car teams racing final, and it led out the Wellington Wildcats by Darren Gray, number 6, the big Eddie Hawkins behind him, number 42, Paul Fahey, the reserve, 91 the Hero by Stan's the man, Stan Hickey will lead them out, 83 is Wayne Houston, number 97 Pat Westbury, the first night hero who won, number 138, the sensational Barry Hunter. So that's the team that comes out. Rodney Wood is yet to come, they could nearly say. He'll be a key player in the race. Salute the fans up here in the pit turn. So the countdown is on, the biggest wave, 15 laps. They're in the starters' hands. The Rotorua Rebels on pole against the Wellington Wildcats, chasing their first title. Up goes the green flag, they're on their way and off the line. And it is Barry Hunter, he's coming down the inside, goes Darren Gray, Hunter on the outside. Down the bottom end, so on come do we have the lights? No, we still go racing as Wayne Richards leading around the big place from there, around the outside goes Eddie, Sam the man, and McLanigan's in there as well, so the Wellington Wildcats taking it in a big way to the Rotorua Rebels. Darren Gray wants to get going, the Rebels lay in wait, here comes Eddie Hawkins up into the pit turn, this could be danger time, Graham into the back. There's the car and Wesley gets the big attack. McLanigan gets into it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge going on. Waiting down the bottom end is Wayne Richards. So they join in. The charge is on and roundhouse spin as they try to take out Pat Westbury. Back he comes and you can see Darren Gray, look at burning everything out, trying to get out of it. Immersed in the smoke over there. He's hung up the danger man Barry Hunter. So McLanigan gets a break on the field at the moment. Down the front of the line red grandstand and teams racing up brilliant grandstand. So Rodney Wood coming down up behind the car of Eddie Hawkins. McLanigan, he's on a flyer. Reels off another lap out to the wall, goes Rodney Wood, attacked there by Eddie Hawkins, driven over to the wall, and still Darren Gray working furiously to get himself away from Barry Hunter. Working away, toiling away over there. Eddie Hawkins is pointing the wrong way. Nudge, nudge round there, Rodney Wood over into the wall. Here comes the line up now, and McLanigan reels off another lap, so he's the man who's in cruise mode, like keeping out of harm's way. Tony McLaren wants to win the big one. It could be his day here in Barmy Palmy. They come out of the Pascal Street turn. Going the wrong way, Eddie Hawkins in front of the grandstand. He gets hooked up, going forwards again. And for Rotorua, the wheels pulling off at the moment. Now they come up to left-hand Westbury. McLanigan, here we go. Down the inside, gets the favourite line, takes him over the wall, and McLanigan gets the break he wants. The silver bullet lights it up again, and at the wall goes Rodney Wood, rocking Rodney, and he comes down of it, spinning it up. It's the 6 car of Eddie Hawkins. McLanigan, they're going to put him away. He's the danger man. Rodney Wood lying in wait. Behind him, Pat Westbury is even meat in the sandwich this time. They're going to hang him on the wall. And McLanigan, Rodney goes. He's taken out. And McLanigan, who's going to fire up first down there? Round the outside goes Eddie Hawkins. Westbury is going to chase him. A great final. Barry, and then we look down here, Stan Hickey, the right front wheel wanting to fall off. He's in big trouble down there. And Eddie Hawkins chasing Eddie Hawkins. Pat Westbury now got the momentum going for him. Down the line, red straight. Westbury lining him up. Here we go. Up on the wall. Here we go. The biggest hit. The king hit. As Westbury takes him and he comes back on his wheel. Sensational manoeuvre. And Eddie Hawkins will be the wildest ride we've ever seen. It'll be a triple roll right around the fence. Pat Westbury serves him the big one and he crashes down. Let's go up. He's on his way. Eddie Hawkins, he makes the restart. Darren Gray goes back in the race. He might be days behind, but he's back in the race. It's a numbers game now. And look at Pat Westbury, flat tyres everywhere. They force their way through. He's up on the wall. And he's stranded. He's ripped up on the wall by Eddie Hawkins. Hawkins is in sensational form. So McLanigan now, they come down the bottom behind Rodney Wood. McLanigan and Rodney Wood. Now it's easy, steady, gently. Round goes, half round goes McLanigan. That hung up on the wall in the pit turn. Eddie Hawkins he's retaliated straight away and he's hung out Pat Westbury. So now McLanigan, he's right in behind Rodney Wood, niggling away at the back of him. Rodney Wood, he's been around the way for a long time. And McLanigan spins him up, takes him out now. McLanigan charges away again. So the race leader is on his way. Stan the man, Hickey laid away to the left. Darren Gray, Eddie Eagle goes away. Eddie Here goes Stan Hickey. Can't do anything about it. Out of control. McLanigan slips down the inside of him. And Pat Westbury desperately trying to get down off the wall. So the red flags come out again. Westbury desperate to get down off the wall. So the attacks go on. And he's got about 150 metres on the way they go. They get the restart. And McLanigan is on his way. And he can't do anything. He just drives over to the wall. So now Darren Gray niggling away there and Rodney. Well, here we go. Stan Hickey. Can he get Pat Westbury off the wall? He's going to try everything he can. Hawkins takes him in though. So Hawkins slams into Hickey as he tries to get the streamer car of Pat Westbury down, and Hawkins nailing him into the wall. Forcing him there. So there's no way. The lock-up over there, Darren Gray and Rodney Wood in front of the grandstand, and the nudge goes on. Here we go. What can Hunter do? Gouging bits out of everywhere. And is it all over for Eddie Hawkins? I think he's stranded in there at the moment. They're going to cruise mode. We might just have one lap to go. And Tony McLanigan down the grandstand straight. Is it for the penultimate time? Round the Pascal Street turn, and Darren Gray looks like he's exploded down the bottom end. Rodney Wood, here we go. This is critical time now. If McLanigan can go round the outside, he is home and dry. Last lap coming up, 400 metres to go for the Wellington Wildcats. Round the outside goes Wayne Richards. McLanigan trying to get a clear run, and he dives. And they head over there. Hawkins going again. They lock horns. And again, here we go, McLanigan. He's going to put Rodney Wood out. No, he's not. He's down the inside. He's got the pavement line. He's on the inside now. They lock horns. Round the outside. And the pushing going on. McLanigan round the outside. He's going to take the lead. Wildcats, they've taken out the classic hits team championship of 1998, and Tony McLanigan is the man who's taken the checkered flag. It's a brilliant team effort. No one can deny that as they come home. Wake up on the wall again, and Eddie Hawkins says, give me a ride home. I need this one. So the salutes are there. And the self-limit by the Rebels. Marvellous drive. That's the day belongs. Whoops, one of the wallets falling out of the band. Showground, one of the great finals. And the fans want to get on board and the conquering heroes from the Wellington Wildcats.
Darren, you're actually the only Wellington driver to have represented Team New Zealand against the world at Stratford and Rotorua. I think you were in a team with the likes of Murray Hobbs and Demenza, Collingwood and Ian Clayworth. What do you sort of remember about those experiences?
Good weekend away.
Yeah. As always.
It's a type of thing that you want to walk.
So to team up with, I guess your rivals, what was that like?
Yeah, it was something sort of had a bit of a team meeting and say basically what we want to do, and that was a bit of a plan, but it sort of didn't really sort of go to the thing. But we was lucky the other team was sort of strong, and they tried to nail you hard, and they can end up doing more damage than taking themselves out.
Yeah, feel good punching a few of those bombs off the end.
Yeah, they tried to, one of them took me off the end, but killed himself.
That's the one. Come 2001, I mean, you guys had a few good runs. You got into the final in 1998, 99 as well. Another big semi against Rotorua. Unfortunately fell short. Year 2000 again. Unfortunately dropped it against Nelson. And so, I mean, the team, you can tell over those years you'd really built their bond as a team and just really starting to get some results, albeit not quite the title in all those years. But 2001 came along again, and you welcomed Fast Eddie back into the team, and things really picked up again from there. Tony, you picked up a bit of an injury at that weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I was hit by one of my own sledgehammers for the Stanaway car, Darren's old car actually. He got me big in the side and wrecked my leg, and he actually knocked me out as well, which I didn't want to say too much about at the time, but I was definitely out for the doctor, and we'd overread the engine and had some issues, and we worked on it till like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we went to the workshop and the next day and put a front bumper on it, the side rail and headers, and it was the worst thing to do to put Darren in the car. So yeah, Darren did the final. So semi final, wasn't it? Yeah.
Come back and take the second title with Army.
Absolutely.
It's like that.
It was quite interesting when we drove into the track on that Saturday, the faces, because the car was totally destroyed, wasn't it, Tony?
Yeah, it was a mess. Yeah.
On the first night, and when we drove in on the Saturday with a basically brand new car, people just couldn't believe the work that had gone into it. You know, it was actually amazing that the team guys, pit crews, the work that they did over that, you know, night and day.
Yeah, it would have been awesome to have a video of the workshop that weekend. Man, we did some work with that. It was unbelievable.
All the cars.
All the cars, yeah.
We never left the workshop until they were all ready to go.
All your careers sort of did come to an end at the end of it all, and sadly for Wellington, the depth wasn't quite there. You still had good mate Clive stepping up for the Wildcats at that time, and Wayne and a few of the other boys. I think Mike gave it a go at one point in time. Sadly, a bit of sad times for Wellington over the better part of a decade. What does it mean to you guys to see these young fellas get back out there? Nathan, big driving force, getting these guys out there. I mean, what does it mean to Wellington and you guys?
I don't go because I want to buy a car.
Oh, thanks. No, it's really an honour to be involved with them, and it's good to see them coming along, and let's hope we can get a few more cars and a bit more depth. They've certainly got the passion. Like they said, Nathan's input into the Wildcats to get them going again has certainly been amazing. So let's hope in the next year or two we can get a few more cars and build on the team, and let's see what happens. And
got a few of these nice looking tri-rails in here now. Tony, you've got your own silver bullet. To see Nathan come in and pick up on that, I mean, what's your take on that? Do you enjoy seeing your chassis be sort of remodelled a little bit and see things picked up along the way?
Absolutely, and Nathan's doing a fantastic job, and you know, I've still got a fair bit of input into the cars, and you know, it's fantastic to actually see the cars being properly built. They're square and true and flat and built in a jig, and Nathan's an electrician, but as an engineer, he's up there with the best of them.
Pretty phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now the silver bullet.
By the way, they're not tri-rails either.
How did the silver bullet come to be, Tony? What was the sort of thoughts behind that?
Well, the silver bullet was a combination of cars that I built going back to Duncan Gollop's, the car that Duncan Gollop has now, the old number 7 car, and then we built a few cars, Ian King's car and a few others as well. I think both of Eddie's early cars were my cars. And for a lot of years I sort of had probably 3 to even 5 cars in the Wellington team at times, and then we progressed to building Graham's car, the 52 car, which was built by Steve Free, and then the next step, of course, was the silver bullet. So, and we've just gradually been developing them more and more over the years. And
now, just a couple of quick fires for the boys. Wayne, what was your sort of biggest moment for you as a part of your racing career?
Probably that 98 semi-final against Palmerston. That was my peak there.
That was huge. It certainly wasn't an easy team that day, and what you guys did on the track was unbelievable. And what about yourself, Tony?
Well, just being involved with the Wellington team and all these guys and all the guys that came after and before these guys, just fantastic. The Wellington team, the Wellington club really values the Wildcats, and it's just great to see these young fellas coming through and carrying on that legacy. And the wins were fantastic, and just being involved has been awesome, you know, highlight of my life.
Yep, and then you put in some pretty big hits over the years. Even if you're in first place, you still like attacking those cars and putting it all on the line. What was probably your biggest memory from
Probably one of the best ones is probably one you haven't talked about, is coming up against the first dream team at Auckland in a semi, and you know, they just had 5 rock stars, and we were just Wellington, and yeah, it was one of the first televised teams races on TV, and yeah, we just absolutely blew them away. It was incredible, winning the North Island title, Wanganui with Darren's help. You know, just there's been so many special moments over the years. You could write a book about them, and you wouldn't want to take any of it back. It's just fantastic.
That's the one. Graham, you've seen your boys do the job on the track. Paul 3NZ, Richard finally got their 1NZ Street Stock 2, and you've got Dale, of course. Big moments for the family?
Oh, it certainly has been, and they've really put a hell of a lot of work into it, and a lot of work done in the garage, as you know. That's where it all starts from. But yeah, it's certainly been proud for me to be involved with those competitors, the two sons and the son-in-law, and also my granddaughter. She's racing now, so yeah, no, it's been a good experience for me.
And also your daughter, a bit of a driving force behind the scenes as well, racking all you boys up.
Oh yes, you've always got to answer to her. She's winds us up a fair bit. No, and B does a really good job as far as that's concerned.
That's the one. What about yourself, Ian? What's one of your biggest moments?
Well, probably 2NZ would be a big moment in there, but for teams racing, I would think that the Tauranga teams races, I mean, they were probably the best ones of the lot. Because we were all in there, it was a holiday time, we were up there for a couple of weeks, we really enjoyed ourselves, and we had success, good success up there as well. I think there was only 1 year that we didn't actually win it while we were campaigning it, and I think we came second in that, but otherwise it was a win.
That's the one, Darren, and what about yourself?
Any of the teams racing, just seem to get every time we do it, just got better and better. There's many races, really, you go away there, Rotorua, Tauranga, we've got a meeting, Auckland, we've got a meeting out there, and a couple we went up Palmerston, probably the year that I drove Tony's car and won that final, it was like a dream to get into somebody's Scous's car and come up and clean that. It was awesome.
Did you get a bit of satisfaction smacking Calvin around a bit?
Tell the truth.
He's alright, if he's in the front, I'm one, I'll give him one, and he'll give me one too if I was in front of him. This is a good job.
Sure, that's the one. And final word with you, Kiwi?
Yeah, over the years, just being part of it, part of the Wildcats in our era, and also being part of the new guys coming through now, you know, just helping out where I can and helping Paulie on his car and just being involved, being there. It's a great honour, I enjoy it, I love it.
That's the one, and you're certainly fan favourites throughout the country over those years, no matter where you went in the country, and we all love seeing those battles that you guys put together, left it out on the track all the time, and I think if a lot of people, of the younger generation especially, got the chance to see some of that old footage, there's really something to learn here with you guys, and sort of the family unit that you built on and off the track is something that everyone can take away from this, and yeah, certainly a tremendous honour to talk to you all and be in your presence today, our childhood heroes of mine all here. I want your chassis, Wayne. I would have paid any amount of money for that thing, if you don't get that chassis. But no, it's been an honour, and thanks for taking the time and coming from Christchurch yourself, Eddie, and yourself and Palmy to be part of this, and Belinda for jacking all of it up. It's been wicked.
Little days, buddy. Yeah, still dizzy. I'm still spinning up there by the top of that light tower. But she come back down, and man, it just went. I couldn't believe it, eh? It was just, this has been the weekend of my life. We've got an awesome team. They're just such a good bunch of guys. All the crew, they work together. Even Graham Gaskin was seen working on a Chev today. You know, it's just amazing. I love Palmerston. I'll be back. Fast Eddie Hawkins. Another man out here who really took a big hand in what happened out there. Wayne Richards, awesome out there, mate. Thank you. Tell us a bit about it, come on.
Oh, I don't really remember much. Just sort of get out there and hit what you can and try and slow them down as much as you can.
You got a smile right from ear to ear.
Yeah, it'll last a while, I think.
Darren Gray, first of all, congratulations, third in New Zealand this year. You've topped it off with this one, mate.
Yeah, no, it's been an excellent season so far. It's really good.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to get out from underneath Hunter over there for a while.
Well, I could have, but every time I started going back, because he was coming down, so he's better staying on the wheels and racing.
We'd just like to thank my Uncle Tony from Hardcastle Engineering, or whatever he calls himself these days, for letting us use his workshop, and all our pit crews. It's been excellent this weekend, especially the Gaskins. Thank you.
And Paul Fahey, you didn't get a run out there, mate, but you must have had a few nervous moments for a while, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, just waiting, see what will happen.
You happy now?
Yeah, happy.
He just watched it from the infield. Yeah, he said. Last but certainly not least, Tony McLanigan. Well done, buddy.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. Well, Wellington's finally broken the drought. What an awesome feeling, I tell you. I just feel so good. And this win is not just for the 5 guys that are involved in this and all the helpers and the crew. It's for Ian King, Graham Gaskin and everyone else that's raced in the Wellington team over the years, put their cars themselves, their families, their friends, everything on the line. And this is for you guys and all the awesome Wellington support over the years. We really, really are happy. Thank you.
Tony McLanigan. And the Wellington Wildcats, they are the champions.
Thanks so much for taking part in this special event that was the Wellington Wildcats reunion, episode 5 for Smack Talk. First of all, massive thanks to everybody that watches the show. We're so grateful that you guys do so, and to just have this opportunity to show and share some of New Zealand's great stock car history means a lot to us, as well as to the drivers and their families. Massive thanks to Dima once again for the drinks, all the boys and everybody that's been chipping in, boys and girls, for all the prizes. We're so grateful to everyone for doing that for us. Shane Besson and his family as well. And yeah, it's awesome, Huggies.
Another awesome and a massive thank you goes to Belinda Robertson for organising probably 90% of this trip. She managed to get all these old guys together, which is amazing, an amazing time, and I can't thank them enough. Also thanks to Brian Little for showing us around Wellington. That was a huge help. Also, Kiwi Keith Webbling for the coffee cart, and a big special thank you goes to Nathan Hayburn for the use of his workshop for the whole reunion, which was awesome. So thank you very much for that.
Now Huggies, bit of an announcement on the 6th episode.
Yeah, yep. I'm off to Christchurch, job opportunity. So now I'll probably be taking a bit of a back seat role with the Smack Talk team.
South Island correspondent over here.
Bit of ding. But nah, it
you
should
realise
be
there's
good.
going to be a whole lot of South Islanders just giving you hiding when you get down there now, don't you?
I'm going to get smashed with Gary, but it's all good. But thank you again for watching episode 5, which is actually episode 6. Thank you to Demon, all our sponsors, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers guys.